It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to try to speak as quickly as I possibly can so we can get through as many sporting highlights as possible this morning. What a weekend. Let's start in the pool, Mr. Jeremy Harris.
Hello there.
Because it's not swimming weather here, but clearly for some South Africans, they are enjoying their time in the pool. Tatjana Schoenmaker. She not only got 2 golds, but also broke a FINA world record in the process. What, is it something in the water?
It might be something in the water. And I mean, I think a new star is born. I mean, we've seen her sort of be there or thereabouts, but now she's not thereabouts anymore. She's at the front of the pile.
I was talking about it in the Universiade. I talk about it, lightly because I know nothing about university sports, but this is clearly a breeding ground where we are now starting to see athletes like we've seen in rugby, a little bit in football, possibly in hockey, but that's where we need to tap into that level. Incredible. I'll give you her record-breaking time of 2 minutes, 22.35, just 0.52 ahead of Victoria Gunes, a record time. But awesome
But good
stuff.
performance. I don't think people walk that fast in some parts
I was trying
of the world.
to put it into context. And it's in one of the most hotly contested events as well. So watch this young lady fly. Absolutely awesome stuff. And also then getting the golds in the 100-meter breaststroke as well against a very, very, very strong field. So congratulations, Tatjana. We look forward to...
Love the reaction when she touched the wall, turned around and realised the world record was
broken, yeah.
Great reaction.
Awesome stuff, man. And we will claim it as our own because that's what we do as South Africans. We live vicariously through our superstar athletes. Let's talk about Currie Cup round 4 action. The Currie Cup, it's been intense. We know that it was going to be different. Obviously, in a World Cup year, everything has been condensed. You, I must say, did call it. And maybe your team of the moment is going to take it this year. The Griquas seem incredibly strong. Where should we start? Maybe with the failure of the Bulls or the success of Griquas? How do you see that?
I think the Griquas have shown really good, sort of pre-season form. They've come into it, and I like the look of them even before the first, the first whistle from the very first game. They went down to the Cheetahs last week, and they came back. It obviously wasn't part of something that they had planned for, and they came back and returned themselves to the top of the table.
Do you see the complexion of this tournament changing as more players are released back into the fold? We know that there's a lot in the works, and we often see the Currie Cup changing dramatically in its latter stages as the Springboks come back to pretty much the line.
And that's normally what happens. Normally you've got the guys who are sort of the unsung heroes doing all of the hard work beforehand. The Boks come back after Rugby Championship and sort of make a difference, but it's also difficult for them to slot into a team setup where the guys have started to get to know each other well.
Clicking, yeah, very much so.
So it's always a sort of a balancing act that the coaches have to work through.
The Lions, all about that second half performance. You got a feel for the Cheetahs, who could be one of the front runners this season, but the Lions, they showed an enormous turnaround in that second half, but they're still not quite where you would expect them to be.
There's not all 6 cylinders firing there at the moment, but I mean, if you're playing like that and still coming away with the win, well then you're going to have something to smile about. So they're still going to be there, sort of there and thereabouts come playoff time.
And then finally, Pumas, Sharks. We are the Sharks. So you look at that Sharks side, and they are star-laden, even for a Currie Cup team.
Yeah.
There's some Springbok names in there. They should be performing better than that.
Absolutely, should be doing a whole lot better. And I think you've again got to give credit to the smaller unions and the smaller teams. The Pumas really did well in that second half. So I mean, you can take nothing away from a team that's playing well for all 80 minutes. The game is 80 minutes long. Play for it.
Are you listening? I'm sure the coach said something pretty similar. So the Cheetahs going down to the Lions 22-24. Pumas Sharks 27-20. There to the Pumas Bulls going down to Griquas 15-37. What a message. All right, the PSL, let's back. We are finally able to scratch our footballing itch, and it's going to really ramp up. I think no major surprises, or were you mildly surprised that Chiefs won this weekend? I say that with all due respect because they've had a bit of a rocky 3-4 years, 5 years.
I didn't look good for them at one point, even in the build-up and certainly during the game. I really thought there was a potential, L coming against their name, but they came back and well done to them. And if that's the way that they're going to sort of graft out a win for the season, well, I think the fans will take the 3 points any way they come. It's been a period of time.
The coach will take the 3 points.
It's been a period of time for them where they haven't been able to get the 3 points in the bag, and so they'll take those 3 away on the road and happily go back to camp.
Mamelodi Sundowns, probably the biggest fixture of the weekend, up against SuperSport. 2-0 victory there. Wow. Sundowns are the pace setters, have been the pace setters.
What a statement. What a statement.
Probably will be the pace setters again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Pirates also came away with that win, which will, again, make the two of them very much sort of going head-to-head, through the season. And I think probably Cape Town City will be disappointed with the fact that they were 2-0 up, looking good, and then coughed up that 2-0 lead to come away with just 1 point.
Well done to Stellenbosch. They get their first point in the PSL.
Absolutely,
up against
well done.
Chippa. That's awesome, man. What an incredible story there. Just very quickly, pretty much one team, it looked like, showed up for the Community Shield.
Yeah.
You know, lots of rust clearly from a Liverpool perspective, and there you're getting a goal. David Silva kind of chipping. It looked like beach football to see Raheem Sterling score. They did ultimately win it on penalties in the end, but City looked pretty good.
Yeah, City did look good. Liverpool looked like they were maybe still
pre-seasoning it.
Still trying to work out exactly what the kit colour should be.
Hey,
yeah,
hey.
A little bit of shade, yeah, but that's it.
Okay, so that's just like some of the stuff that went down this weekend. We're gonna get into some of the Formula One action as well, and I'll also get your opinion on every national coach either resigning or being fired. Rusty, you're safe, buddy. You're safe for now. We still got the Rugby Championship to wrap up. Jeremy Harris, love you, dude.
Thank you, man.
Whew.